What are the Washington Commanders up to today, Albert? What is going on? Because obviously we're 1 week away from having Caleb Williams be drafted first overall, and then the Commanders are on the clock, and that's when the draft essentially starts. What's happening there today?
Yeah, so the number I heard was 22. They have 22 prospects.
22 prospects at once?
22, yeah. So they went to Topgolf yesterday, and all had sort of a casual dinner and kind of mixer. I use the word mixer, and rightfully so. People poked fun at me on Twitter. I probably deserve that.
It's like out of Archie Comics, Albert.
I know. Mixer was probably social.
Hop,
we can call
a
we call it social.
Yeah,
it's social better.
Okay.
Yeah. So 22 prospects in there. They're all meeting together today. At the Commanders facility. And this is something that their new general manager, Adam Peters, actually borrowed from San Francisco, which is where he came from. Generally the idea is, and we'll get to the quarterback part of this in a second. Generally, the idea is that this is the point at which you're going to have the most information on the prospects because you've built it up. And this is the last day. Today is the last day that you're allowed to have prospects in-house for 30 visits. So, when you want to, cross T's and dot I's, this is the best time to do it because you're going to be at the very end of the process of evaluating all of these guys. On top of that, you also get to manage your time efficiently. And, that there's a lot these guys have going on, especially in a place with a new coach. So the off-season program has started. You're in your draft meetings. So doing them all at once instead of chunks of like 5 of them coming in at a time is more efficient. And then I think beyond just that, it's, the ability to see them interact with their peers and, see who the leader in the group is and see how they get along with each other and see how they handle a stressful situation with one another. I think there's benefit there. And if you look at the benefit in San Francisco, they've had one of the best locker rooms in the league over the last 5 years. And I think people who've been there would tell you that, this whole process that they set up out there is a part of the puzzle. So you can see why Adam Peters, with the success they had there, would bring this with him. Now, among those 22 players, most notably are the 4 quarterbacks. Caleb Williams is not there. We all know where he's going, but Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, and Michael Penix are there. Now, again, this is different than the way Chicago's handled Caleb Williams. Like, for example, Caleb Williams was one of a half dozen guys who came in for 30 visits at one time in Chicago, right? So 5 of the 6 prospects went to dinner at a place called Eddie Merlot's in Lincolnshire near the team facility. They brought Caleb Williams to another restaurant. Like, he was literally having dinner at a different restaurant than the other 5 prospects.
They added a Michelin star for their future star quarterback. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So they brought him out to a different restaurant. He went to a place called Sophia Steak.
Sure, very fine then.
But they had him separately because they wanted to meet with him separately. So the Bears brass was there, right? And they had him sit at a table with a bunch of veteran players. So that's one way to do it, where you give the quarterbacks the individual treatment.
Yeah.
In this case, I think the Commanders really felt like through all of the different touch points they've had, through the private workouts, the pro days, the ability to sit down with these guys on campus, which they've done with all of the guys, meet with them at the combine, and then do the 3 Zoom calls that they're allowed to do of an hour apiece. They've had a ton of one-on-one time with these guys. They'll also have one-on-one time with each of the quarterbacks at the facility today. But ultimately, the way they see it is these 4 guys, whichever one they pick, I think most people expect it to be Jaden Daniels, are going to have to fit in with their teammates, are going to have to be leaders with their teammates. And so they want to see them in as natural a habitat as they can possibly invent for them. And by doing things this way with their peers, they're able to see how they interact with other players. They're able to see who's kind of the head of the group, right? And maybe they get to see, by taking them to Topgolf, like a little bit of a competitiveness with them. So I think it's an interesting approach. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to handle your run up to the draft if you're looking for a top quarterback. Maybe you lose a little bit, in losing some individual time with those guys, but they will get some individual time with each of those guys today, and they've had a lot leading up to today.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.